University in Australia. His thesis was on using computers to enhance English language learning for students at primary level. He has been working as an English language teacher for over 20 years in both the public and private sector at both primary and tertiary level. Nick has been doing eTwinning projects for nearly 10 years and has received high praise for many of his projects. On many occasions, Nick has been awarded the National Quality Label as well as the European Quality Label. In 2016, Nick's project, Looking for Bo and Delphi, claimed first prize in the eTwinning European Awards.
Thank you. Okay, I'll begin straight away as we've delayed. So, thank you, Maria, for the introduction. My name is Nick Shakaris. I'm a primary school teacher at Vassoupolis Primary School, and I'm going to be talking about learning English through eTwinning projects. I'm going to split the presentation into 3 parts. The first, because I don't know your background in eTwinning, I'm going to give some general information on eTwinning. Part 2 will be about how the eTwinning platform helps students enhance their English language skills. And part 3, the major part of the presentation, will be to give real-life examples of activities that I have done in the past that enhance English language teaching. At any point, if you have any questions or it is something you don't understand, please feel free to stop and ask me. I encourage you to find my eTwinning profile and look at the project, because all the examples can be seen on the project's TwinSpace. The eTwinning platform is a safe platform. Teachers can find teachers from all over Europe to collaborate with, and obviously collaboration is something that the students really enjoy. Teachers can choose the type of project they want to do, the level of difficulty, the different activities and its duration. So if you're a beginner teacher, you may do a project that goes for 2 or 3 months. You may do an activity, you may do 5 activities in the project. Once you get more advanced, you can do 10, 15, 20. The project is totally up to you and the partners that you work with. One of the best things about the eTwinning platform is teachers display the work that their students do. So other students from all over Cyprus, from all over Europe, can see the activities and the work that the students do. And this is very rewarding for the students because they feel that their work is being looked at and viewed by everybody. Right, the eTwinning platform. There are many features and many advantages of using the eTwinning platform. One of the best is teachers can monitor students' activity. So unlike Facebook, where students can go in, write a message, chat, and nobody knows what they're saying, the eTwinning platform is very safe because everything is monitored by the teacher. Students can send messages to other members. So rather than emailing, they can use the eTwinning platform to send messages. And obviously this encourages the development of the students' writing skills. Students can use the TwinSpace forum, and as you can see, I've circled forum because in the forum they can write a post. For example, in our previous project we did an activity about bullying. So what we did was we started a forum post that talked about bullying. Someone wrote a problem that they had in their schools, then the students from the other 2 schools responded to the forum and gave suggestions on how to deal with the bullying problem. So this enhances English language, and the students need to read, they need to be able to use the eTwinning platform, they need to be able to write the messages, they need to be able to read the messages, and forums obviously help promote language. Right, students can access the chat room and chat with others. Now I don't know if it's too clear, but if you can see where the mouse is, it's not here. Right at the bottom of the screen it says download chat history. So even if 2 students or 3 or 5 go into the chat room with the teacher not being there and decide to write silly things, the teacher can download the chat history for up to 3 months. If you can see it up on the top, they can download the chat history, and if they see that a student has been behaving inappropriately, they can delete them, remove their privileges, and put someone else in their place. So this is something very positive, whereas other chat rooms don't have this feature. So this is one of the benefits of the eTwinning platform. Students can video chat with others, and there's 2 ways for them to do this. They need to go into the live section, and once they go into the live section, they have the screen that you see before you. Either they can enter the chat room, which I just showed you before, or they can create a live event, which usually the teacher creates, For example, you'll see one in a few minutes. We had a karaoke competition. We created the live event. Students entered the chat room, they entered the live event, and everything that was done in the live event was recorded and uploaded to the project's TwinSpace. Right, students can upload their work, and this is one of the best things that I like about the eTwinning platform is students learn to develop their computer skills in a safe and friendly environment. They need to go here to the materials section. The teacher creates a folder. For example, we did logos. I don't have any at the moment. We created logos. Once the students had drawn logos for the project, I gave them to the student ambassadors and they uploaded them to the materials section that you see before you. And then from the materials section, they can move to the pages where we take things from the materials and make the pages that are accessible to the public. So this also gives the students a sense of ownership. They take pride in their work and they know that the work that they upload is viewed by other students of their school, by students of other separate schools, by students of other European schools. As Maria said, one of the benefits of doing eTwinning projects is students receive national or European quality labels. Here you can see the last European quality label I received from my last project. One of the things that the eTwinning agency has done in recent years, once you receive the national quality label, they automatically give you a pupil quality label. So every pupil that's been involved in the project can have a diploma, they can frame it, they can be proud of their work. So this is a big reward, whereas other projects, if for example in an Erasmus project, there's no recognition, whereas here, there is recognition. I mean, there is recognition, but yeah, of a different type. Students can go on to be finalists, and this is something that the kids like, knowing that their project is one of the best, not only in Europe, but one of the best throughout all of Europe, and can even win a prize in the European awards. Right. Part 3, let's look at some activities. Now, you heard earlier about digital storytelling, and it's one of my favorite activities. I use a tool called Microsoft Photo Story 3. It's free to download, and it's very easy. What students do in this activity is I get them in their exercise books to choose a topic that they like. It can be, sometimes I choose the topic if it's related to the curriculum, sometimes I let them choose a topic of their interest. They research, they bring materials to school, they bring the materials to class, they write about their topic in English. I check the English, correct the spelling, correct the grammar, and then using Microsoft Photo Story, the students bring on their USB different pictures. We upload the pictures to Microsoft Photo Story and then they record themselves speaking over the picture. So every time a picture appears, they record their audio and it creates a photo story. Here's one about Nadia Comaneci. And we don't have audio. Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
You can do the audio, Nick. We trust you. Maybe there's just a little...
No. Basically, it said that she's from Romania. She's a very famous she's famous in rhythmic gymnastics. She, now, you'll see the same pictures because if you go to the project's TwinSpace and see this particular photo story, should we try it again? That's okay.
Check the volume on the computer.
Try it again, but check the volume. Yeah, maybe
check
that
the volume there. Maybe it's...
Or the wire, is it plugged in?
Yes. Yeah, it's down. Alright, I'll put it at 100.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, so
and again.
Alright.
Nadia Comaneci is the best in rhythmic gymnastics. She was the best in the world.
It's louder on the TwinSpace.
Nadia Comaneci is from Romania. Many people know her. She is very famous.
Now, yeah, this audio is not recorded that loudly, but what we did in our photo stories was we asked, the students got to choose a topic of their interest, they wrote it down, They brought the pictures on USB, they recorded themselves. So the teacher can adapt it according to the student's ability. If they have low, if they're weaker students, they can do a simple story. It doesn't need to be 100 sentences. It can be a few sentences, and the students still feel proud that they're creating work and developing their English skills. What we did for our photo stories was, once we created our ones in English, we sent them to Spain, and Spain recorded the same stories in Spanish. And then we sent them to our other partner school, and they recorded the audio in Greek. So they all used Microsoft Photo Story, then we used Movie Maker to bring them all together to create a photo story in English, Spanish, and in Greek. You can see all the photo stories if you visit the project's TwinSpace. Printed work. Now I've brought a few things. Storybooks, something that the kids love creating. Cookbooks, activity books. So feel free to browse at any of the materials and have a look at them later on. I'm going to tell you about a web page called Publisher, and as the name suggests, Publisher means you become the publisher. So you take a story that gets done in Word, you convert it to PDF, then all you do is upload the PDF to Publisher, and you create a photo story. And I'll show you that one that. And as soon as the internet starts working, the Publisher you're about to see is the project activity book that was created for the last project. We decided, because I've been doing eTwinning for 10 years, rather than say, oh, we're going to do this and this, we wrote down every single activity, what our goal was, how we would work, what we wanted to achieve, and then we split up each activity into a description of the activity. So anyone taking the project activity book that says, how did you do it? All they need to do is read it. Okay.
Is it working?
It's, yeah.
You have to click on it though.
Okay. Yeah.
So Javin before it had a problem.
Yeah,
No, they didn't fix it.
And what's funny is, it said PowerPoint is not responding. So on my screen, I don't see that. I see a little blue circle going round and round. I will attempt to close the program and start it again. My apologies.
It's okay.
We have time.
Alright. Yeah, it's 4 more words.
Okay. So basically what Publisher does is it takes printed material and creates an online story. At the end, I've opened all the pages from before. I'll try and show them to you so you see what Publisher looks like. So you can take an activity book, you can take a storybook and make an online version that's just as attractive and more accessible to students. Right. Another thing we did was we created a flash mob video. Now what you're going to see here is 20 seconds of the video, only because we only have 30 minutes for the presentation. The particular flash mob video was first created in by a school in Thessaloniki. And what they did was they took a famous Greek song, which you may, depending on how good your Greek music knowledge is, you may recognize. They changed the words of the Greek song to a song about reading. The music was the same, but the lyrics were changed. What we did was we took their lyrics and changed them to English and changed them to Spanish. The students learned the lyrics and then they created the flash mob video. Now what you're going to see here is just the English part of the flash mob video. One Spain had created the Spanish and the other school had created the Greek. We combined them to make one video. You may recognize the song. Maybe a story or even two can warm the heart in a cold, cold world. So, I don't know if you recognize the song, but it was changed to Greek, and then I gave the handout of the Greek song to my students. They came up with different words that would match the music. We combined it, we made the English verb, then we learned the same moves that they had done in Thessaloniki and created our own flash mob video. You heard earlier about Kahoot, and the good thing about Kahoot is teachers can create games, and via the eTwinning platform, which is the picture you see here, you see 3 different schools connecting online. Students can only play Kahoot games once the teacher has given them a code. They write in the code, they see on the screen the question, and using their tablets or using their computer room, they play the game. Now, what we did was, one of our project activities was what makes you unique. So, different students wrote about themselves. And some students only wrote a few sentences, so no pressure. Some students wrote a little bit more. Some students wrote a lot more. Now, I'm going to read you one. This student says, I have patted a python. That's what we asked her, what makes you different? Some talked about a tourist attraction they had visited that no one else in the class went to. One student said she was famous, she knows 8 different dances, and that's what makes her special. Another student said, I'm really good at archery. So everyone discovered that they had a secret talent. So what we did was, we created a Word document that said, Nick loves traveling. That's what makes him special. John is good at archery. Anthea patted a python. We shared that information to all the students. Then we created the Kahoot game, which you will see now. And it was a very simple game where the students either saw a student's name or something that they did, and they had 2 choices. All they had to do was press the button to play the game. So all 3 scores. Here's question 1, Nicholas. So Nicholas is either good at maths or science. He told us what he was good at. The students had to guess the right answer, either on their tablets or on their computers. Kahoot gives you instant feedback, so they know if they got the answer right or wrong, and then the scoreboard appears, so they're competing against each other right there and then. And this is really exciting for the students. So they were all given to play this game. They were given a worksheet, A4 document that said Nicholas is good at either maths or science. I think, as you saw here, he was good at maths. They had to learn what every other student in the class, in the group, was good at at the other school. Then they played the game, which we created. As you can see, a square appeared. That was on the computer screen for the Spanish team. We didn't see it on our end, but when we recorded the video, it appeared. So, as you know, technical difficulties sometimes do get in the way of our teaching.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
What kind of preparation do you as a teacher do? You have to upload some info and then the kids find it and they play the game. You enter Kahoot, okay. What do you do then?
Right, once I've created the game, I'm given a code. I only give the code to the students who have got either tablets, smartphones, they're on the computers, and then they go to kahoot.com or kahoot.it, they enter the code, and then they see the game. Once I've seen that everyone has signed in, they write their username, and once I've seen that all the usernames are there, I begin the game.
Okay. So is it easy for the teacher to use this and just upload all the info and the kids to use it then? It's easy for the teacher? Because it looks easy and not time consuming, this one. Is it right? Or
to
is it
create the game does need a little bit of time. But once you've created it, you can play it again and again. So every year, if you do a Kahoot game on animals, and you know animals are going to be in next year's syllabus and the year after and the year after.
You use it again for the next one.
Yeah. Nice. All you have to do is take the students to the computer lab, or give them tablets, or get them for that day to to bring smartphones or something, and then connect and play it. Once it's done, it's stored forever. So that's one of the advantages of Kahoot. To create it initially, one of the things that we're doing this year in our eTwinning project is the students are creating their own games. So for this game, for example, if I want them to learn about their classmates, the person that's going to write on, Nick is good at this, Maria is good at that, George is good at this, they're going to type it all up for me on computer. So then all I have to do is copy paste into Kahoot and create the game.
Oh, great. Yeah.
As opposed to Kahoot games, another webpage I use is Purpose Games. And purpose games give students the freedom not to compete at the same time, but to play a game and upload, see their score and see their time. Now, I created a very basic game called Myself. I created it just for my students to see. As you can see, a question appears, what color is your hair? I've already put in the answer, it's one of these answers. If you press the right answer, I'm not going to attempt to press the link because the internet froze before, but I'll show it to you. I will show it to you at the end, but again, feel free to contact me and I will share the link. We'll have a look at it in a little while. Okay. Another fun thing that I like doing in my lessons is karaoke competitions, and I give students the flexibility to choose any song. I have to approve the song because obviously we don't want songs with bad words or bad meanings from them. And then for this particular competition, this is just one of the rehearsals that my students did. We created our own YouTube page so students could see their videos. And as you know, we have a bit of a theme with showing students' faces. So what we did was I recorded the student from the side singing. She's one of my better students, just so you know. They're not all that good. Okay. When we had the actual competition, she was singing simultaneously with students from Spain. So we had teams, and we said, we uploaded the video, we uploaded the karaoke, they started singing Cyprus and Spain simultaneously. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and then we had a competition to find the winner. Another interesting activity we did was adopt a tree, and this was really fun because we connected. As you can see from picture 1, we had a video conference, and what we had to do was we had to give instructions to the other school what to do to adopt the tree. So we thought, how can you make a tree in the area surrounding the tree greener or more beautiful? So we wrote our suggestions. We connected via video conference, so the students were writing, so they're developing their writing skills. We connected via video conference, and then one school told the other school what to do. We sent them pictures of the tree that they were going to adopt. We adopted a tree in Spain. Spain adopted a tree from Potamia. Potamia adopted a tree from Cyprus. So what you see in picture 2 is once we had our ideas and the students had wrote them, and we thought, what do we want the other school to do? We wrote the suggestions on the board. The students came in front. For each suggestion, a different student came in front of the camera, said, we want you to put lights on your tree, to make it attractive at night, to really attract attention. We were given all these ideas, and what we did was, in picture 3, the school that was telling us what to do, we had a group of students that was recording what the other students was telling us. So there was listening, there was reading, there was writing, and there was speaking, all 4 of the basic skills. Once we knew what we had to do, we adopted a tree. So here you can see students putting stones around the basin of the tree. They dug to make the earth a bit greener. They put fertilizer, and up the top they even put a bird's nest. That's what the other school told us to do. We did the activity. It was a different activity. A lot of language involved in this activity, and we adopted the tree. Okay. Treasure hunts. Treasure hunts are always fun, and one of the modern ways to do treasure hunts, the traditional treasure hunt says, go to place number 1, go to place, do something, record something, write an answer, go to place number 2, go to place number 3. The modern way is with QR codes. And has anyone got a QR code reader with them? No? Luckily I brought the smartphone. Right, Doris, come on down.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Right, the QR code reader app is a free app that does not need Wi-Fi, so that's what I like most about it. Okay, you scan the code, so just take it, right, put the code, line it up the QR code reader.
What do you mean line up? What do you mean line up?
Hang on.
Explain, like I'm a 5-year-old. What do you want me to do?
No, put that
Yeah.
where the code
That's
is.
what I do.
No, higher up. It's not in the center. There you go. Okay, read the message. What does it say?
All right, I want to play basketball.
Okay, pass the phone. I don't know your name. Andriana. Please scan the second QR code. Press the back button on the phone. Okay, put it in the center.
This way.
There you
Yes.
go. The second one almost put you. No, you guys by yourself. No, you read it that way.
Sing a song with 3 different people.
Excellent. So they don't need Wi-Fi. This is the best thing. They go to these places. Now, what I had done with my, you can leave the phone there. Thank you so much. Okay. Our previous project was based on Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. So we were investigating 8 of the challenges. For every challenge, what we did was another school told us what to do. For musical intelligence, they told us to sing a song. For mathematical intelligence, they gave us, I don't know, a problem to solve. For linguistic intelligence, they had to write some words. What we did was we sent our challenges to one school. The second school sent the challenges to the third school. The third school sent the challenges to the first school. And then we developed these QR codes. And the students had, what I actually did for my school was I created one set of codes that said, go to class D1. When they went to class D1, they would see one of these, and then they would have to scan it with their phones. So using technology, they would get one of the messages like sing a song. They would record themselves singing a song, bring it back as proof, and then they would be given the next challenge, where to go. So this is a fun, interesting way of doing treasure hunt. Now, what we did with our in Spain, because we'd been working with my partner in Spain, we'd been working for close to 10 years together. We decided to make it even more challenging, and they left the school and went all around their city to do the treasure hunt. So instead of my students went to class D1, went to the art room, went to the basketball court, their students went to the mayor's office, they went to pharmacies, they went to a radio station, and at the radio station they would get the QR code which would have a challenge from my school. And what we did was we connected via Google Maps so we could see where they were, because the wonderful thing about smartphones, you can track location. So we knew where they were, picture 1, right? They told us, oh, we're here. We found their location on Google Maps. We knew where they had to go. So what we did in picture 2 is we wrote down the instructions, really good use of English language. We wrote down, go back after the hotel, turn right, blah, 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 which street to go left, which street to go right. We recorded it on WhatsApp, sent the instructions, which you can see on picture 3. If you look right up at the top, if you press the play button on WhatsApp, you will hear my students giving instructions to the Spanish students. The Spanish students would go to the radio station, they would get a challenge, sing a song, do something, they would do the challenge, they would send a video back to us, and we would give them the next directions to the next place they had to go. So, really exhausting activity, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, I think, for the Spanish students, because they got to travel all around the city. Okay, right. We had anti-bullying posters, and this is a fun way to use language. Now, I've brought 2 of the posters here. I really like this one, leave the black boat alone. So really original. Yeah. Now, what we did for the bullying activity was the students created the posters, but no words. We had a competition to choose 6 different posters. Those posters were exchanged between all 3 schools. We sent 6 to one school. That school sent 6 to another school. The third school sent pictures back to us. And then the students would have to